My name's Keith Winchell, and I'm in Central Florida. I have 3 acres here, and the dogs running around, they chase the squirrels, and I get to do my gardens, and I can sit in the front porch and have my coffee in the morning and watch the world go by, I grew up in the West Point area, Hudson Valley, New York, and then at 18 I went into the military. I went in for 4 years, and I ended up staying 24 years. And then I went to the Air National Guard. Me and my buddy Rex, he was a Marine, and when Danny came to the Air Guard unit, we're sitting at the breakfast table in the firehouse, and he's like, "Hey, want to be cops?" I'm like, "Sure." So we both went down and went through the recruiting program, became police officers. I went through a grueling motorcycle course. I thought I knew how to ride motorcycles. I didn't know how to ride motorcycles. I just got off a midnight tour. My ex-wife called me up and goes, "Where are you?" I said, "I just crawled into bed." He says, "The towers just got hit." I got on the phone, I called my precinct. I said, "Sarge, I'm on my way in." I still remember what it looked like, crossing the Tappan Zee Bridge. You see the where the towers were, the smoke coming up, and I just like, holy man, And then I was down at ground zero, going through the rubble and stuff. Everything was disintegrated. I was up to the bottom of my knee. Some places it was just powder. And then we're detailed on overtime to do the Dominican Day Parade. And as we're sitting at a gas station by the Fordham Bridge, an individual came through on a race bike and rode a wheelie through a crowd of people. So I popped my helmet on and I started following him, going between the cars, weaving in and out. And a car came out of an intersection. I tried to go around him, but he stopped. And I turned my bike sideways and I hit him. I was in the ambulance. The guy's over top me. He says, "You'll be okay." I still have my sense of humor even then. And I look up and there's like a white light behind him. And I'm like, "You don't look like Jesus." Because I thought the white light, everybody's going to say, go to the white light. So, and then that's the last thing I remember. And there's my motorcycle boots. Not a scratch on them, but I broke my ankle. Here's my helmet. I told the guys, I didn't hit my head. I know I didn't hit my head. I hit my head. It bounced off the car when I went flying through the air. I must have had an angel on my back that day, so a bunch of guys I work with, they all signed the back of the motorcycle with the angel on it. Gave me that when I was in the ICU unit. I'm an L1 burst. They call it L1 incomplete, which means my spinal cord wasn't severed, so I'm able to move my legs. I have very weak hamstring muscles, and I power everything off my quads. I don't have any calf muscles, and I don't have any dorsiflex in my feet. Those muscles are shot. But I do have trunk control. I can lean over, and I'm very mobile up top. I'm confined to a wheelchair pretty much most of the time. So mostly I use, my manual wheelchair, or I'll use my power chair.
I met Keith the way everybody meets people nowadays on a fitness dating site. He had a picture with the dogs, and I made a comment about liking the picture, and then he made his smart aleck comment, and I literally laughed out loud, and I knew that was the guy I had to meet.
I did aquatic therapy, but it was in a very small pool. I came up to check the merchandise out at Endless Pools, and the sales guy had me get into the pool, and I was actually walking in the pool, and it's the first time I really walked without any support or any braces, and I'm like, wow, this is cool.
I'm a physical therapist assistant. I have worked with paraplegics in the water, and where they are paralyzed, up above that can be very tight, stiff.
It helps stretch my back out, and it helps with my hip flexors, because I'm always sitting at 90 degrees, so they'll start getting tight.
Being in the water provides you with buoyancy. It takes weight off of your spine. It takes weight off of your hips. It helps a lot of people with pain management, but they're still able to get exercise in, and Keith is a great example of that. He does have spine pain. He does have leg pain.
it's done in a safe manner. Like the Hydrostride, when they poured the concrete, they laid it in like a little trench. The concrete comes right up to the sides of it. Everything's flush in the pool, so if I happen to step off to the side, I'm not gonna twist my ankle, so it keeps me safe.
When we originally started, he was using weights because his legs weren't strong enough to keep them on the treadmill. And he's progressed to the point where he can walk without the weights on. He can walk back and forth, side to side, which makes the trunk muscles work, which he needs. He's in the wheelchair. He's got to be able to lean, stretch, move.
People who are paralyzed, their bone density breaks down quite quickly. So the more I can stay in the pool and stand and walk on the tread machine, you know, circulation's better. My legs don't get as sore, and that just makes me extend my life a little bit longer, you know.
And then you add water that's pushing against you. It's been invaluable to him to build his core strength, to build his leg strength. It's just been incredible.
I put the fast lane on the lowest setting. The water looks like it's just trickling out, but it still has a good enough current to keep me afloat and keep pressure against me to swim against. When you get out of the pool, your legs are like, whoo, you know, like, yeah, you actually did something, you know. I've had friends who are, you know, able-bodied or swimmers, you know, and some young kids that come over, they could swim against it, but they're like huffing and puffing when they get out of the pool.
I use the fast lane when it's too hot to run outside, for sure. It's just working the muscles in a different way. I'm not landing so hard on the heel like I would on the pavement, so my back doesn't hurt as much the next day. It's a great workout.
My gait's pretty good in the pool, and I can actually spring up off of one leg, which I couldn't do on land. I'd fall over, you know? So I can do so much more on that. Being able to do that, you know, it just kind of pumps you up, you know, like, oh, back to being a little normalcy in my life where I can actually walk, you know? It's like, the water just helps so much to stand up. And it's not the perfect stance, but it's better than, and like I said, I don't even have any braces on my legs. Without the Endless Pool products, I probably wouldn't be in the physical condition I am right now if I didn't have them to use.
It's changed everything. Really. For him to be able to get in and out of the water it's just changed everything for him. Exercise is so good for our outlook. To be able to exercise releases endorphins. It's just been so wonderful for him, really. And he's just a happier person.
You know, I try to stay as healthy as I can be and be self-reliant. I like Diane helping me at times when I need it, or my friends, but I want to do everything myself until I can't do it anymore, you know? The guys at the lawnmower shop built a handrail around my lawnmower so I can pull myself up. I mow my own grass. I mow my lawn here. I mow the neighbors' places down here. The Hydrostride and the fast lane definitely enhanced my lifestyle. I can get my training right here at the house, you know? I roll out my back door, I get in my lift, get in, I can work out for a good hour or so and be healthy. Gives us more time to do stuff together. You know, she does her yoga, you know, I'll be in the pool and she'll do her yoga up here on the deck, then she'll come in the pool. It's just me, her, and the dog, so it's like our family, so it's kind of like it's our thing, you know? This is part of our life. People always ask me, God, you know, feel about getting paralyzed? And honestly, and people might think I'm a knucklehead, I said, it's probably the best thing ever happened to me in my life. It humbles you, man. It humbles you. You don't take things for granted, and you look at people a lot different. I wouldn't trade it, really.